Good evening. Welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah, and I have the beautiful Miss Brittany Clark here with me today. Hi, Brittany.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you all for joining us here on Build Your Best Life. It is Tuesday, so you know what happens on Tuesdays is Blueprint for Success. And so we have wrong one. We have a great topic for you today. So we're excited to have you here. I wanted to say thank you so much for all of your prayers, for your comments, likes, and shares. We love to get those. So please continue to share with everyone that you can so that they can get the content and it will assist them in their lives as well. Before we get started, we want to hear a little bit about Brittany and what she loves to do. So, Brittany,
Hello. I have a 4-year-old son. I work in the childcare area of the world. I also do some animal rescue and volunteer at my church. Just trying to give back to the community as much as possible. Other than that, I like to read books and continue educating myself and watch movies and play with my son and, you know, trying to create our best life.
yes, all sounds great. Thank you so much, Brittany, for being on. And if you follow us here, you know that Brittany has been on before, so you know that you can get ready for a treat as we discuss our topic today. Well, first of all, our theme is um, blueprint for next level education. As we know, education is not just what you can learn from a book, but it's everything that you can learn in the world, and we can learn something new every day. So our topic today is don't settle. Don't settle. Some people enjoy seeing other people fail. Why, I don't know, but they do. So you have people that like to bully, talk down to people, discourage them. And with everything that we have endured over, I would just say, even the past 20 years, you would think that people would realize how precious family and friends are. And they would not do mean, cruel things to other people, but they would rather want to encourage people and make them feel good. There's a lot of things that go on in the world that are negative, and so just being nice to someone, I don't it doesn't cost you anything, so I don't know why we have such a problem doing that, some people. uh, so Brittany, have you ever had someone to tell you that you couldn't succeed in a given area, that you would never be successful or anything like that? If you have, can you tell us about it?
Yes. So in December, I graduated with my bachelor's, but I have never been good in math. And my degree was in business administration. And I had many people along the way tell me that I could never succeed or never successfully get a degree in that area because I'm not good at math. Beyond the basic multiplications, I struggle. But I did it.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about. You have to, those type people, you don't get into confrontations with them, but you would. You just show them, hey, I can do this.
Yep.
Yep. So very good. Hi, I see Angela Marks, Denise Upchurch, Dan Smith, Deacon Holmes. Thank you all so much for tuning in today as we discuss don't settle. And that's what we have to do. We have to go along and use the gifts that we have been given to encourage others. So our gifts are not just for us, but God gives them to us so that we can help others. So whatever it is that we have that we can use, that we need to do it and not let people uh, make us downplay what we have. So many of you probably know this story, but history has this rumor, because some people say it's a rumor. It wasn't exactly like it's in the history books, but Thomas Edison's, they said that Thomas Edison's teacher had sent a note home with him to his mom, and that his mom opened the letter, and of course he wanted to know what the letter said. And it said that his mother, with tears in her eyes, told him that, oh, that the letter said that he was just so smart. He was a genius that the teachers at that school could not handle his level of education, that she needed to homeschool him. And so that is what she did. So she taught him everything he knew. And we know from, the light bulb and other inventions that Thomas Edison actually was a genius. So it was not until after his mother's death, as he was going through her belongings, that he actually found the original letter. And when he read it, what the letter had said was, your son is deficient and he will never be able to learn. We are expelling him from school. So think about that. If his mother had gone with what that teacher said about her child and read what it said to him, then he would have thought, I can't learn, I can't do anything. So when will we have gotten all these inventions that he made possible? So that's another example of how we cannot allow people to speak those negative things into our spirits.
Right.
All right. So, Brittany, what would you say to someone who has labeled, just not that they did, but if someone was to label your child mediocre, what would you say back to that person?
I would first ask why they would say that. And secondly, I would talk to them about how powerful our words are and how damaging they can be, not just to someone's life in general, but to their mental health. My son actually does have some struggles in school, mostly with his high energy level. And he does get a lot of flack from teachers. And we do have to have repetitive conversations about how he's not a bad kid or he's not deficient. He's just high energy, and we work to channel his energy into other things rather than getting into trouble.
Right. And that's what you have to do. So, it's God knows who to place in whose life. So he just has a lot of energy. Like I just told you before we started, I have a 4-year-old grandson, and when you talk about energy, he is just full of energy. I told you he reminds me of Remy, but he is just high energy. And the teacher's like, he doesn't put on his listening ears. Well, his brain is probably working so fast until it's like, it's not that he's not listening, but y'all got to keep up with him. So, but you cannot let them, downplay. And I've probably told this story before, so I'll try to make it short. But when my son was in 4th grade, he had a teacher, and she had never sent me a note or anything, but I happened to stop by the school one day. I wasn't going to work. And she said, oh, I think your son has epilepsy. And I said, huh? She said, and he can't hear well either. I said, he can't hear? She said, yes. I said, why do you say he has epilepsy? She said, because he's like my brother, and he can just be sitting in his seat in class, and he just falls out on the floor. I said, really? I said, tell him, I said, come here a minute. So hey, I understand you've been falling out your seat on the floor. So do we need to go out? I had a van at the time. I said, do we need to go out to the van and talk? You're going to sit in your seat when you go back in class. I'm going to sit in my seat. I said, okay. But then it was like bothering me. So like I said, I had a van. So I'm in the front and he's sitting in the back, and I'm going, Christopher. He's like, ma'am? Because she's told me my child can't hear and my child has this. And it was just, horrible to me, but I never mentioned it to him. And so, make a long story short, the principal said he had to stay in her class, but I asked him before I allowed that. I said, is your teacher nice to you? Or did she ever say anything mean to you? And he was like, no, ma'am. So as long as she wasn't harming him and speaking those negative things to him, I allowed him to stay there. But he was an A student. But, had I been, I would have just lost it and had him being tested everywhere, because this is what she said. She had no idea what she was talking about. So we can't let those people, I guess in her life somewhere, she wasn't happy. So we cannot let people make us settle where they try to place us.
Yeah. Labels are a very common thing in society in general.
Yeah. Yes. Let me see. See a comment from Denise. Yes, high energy children are misunderstood quite a bit. Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Like even at children's church, we know that, they don't want to just sit. So, sometimes you have to say, okay, we're going to get up and we're going to sing a song. So we just do a high energy song. So let them burn off some of that energy. Like, okay, now we can have our seats. So you have to do what you have to do. Because
Yeah.
everybody is not the same.
No. And I think a lot of teachers or a lot of people forget that you might be teaching a sixth grade class or a fourth grade class or even a pre-K class, but they're still varying ages. So you're not going to get everyone that's on the same level as the other one. Some of them are on the just turned 4, and some of them are about to turn 5 or are already 5. So,
Right. That is so true. Yes. So, Brittany, can you tell us why it is better to use kind words to encourage others rather than to use negative words that may maim them? And not just for that moment, it can maim them for their life.
Well, like I referenced earlier, a lot of times people don't think of, I think people react from their own hurt when they speak negative words or hurtful words to other people, and they don't think about the impact of what they are saying. But a lot of words, in particular words, they harm people's mental health, they harm their outlook on life. You know, they can offset someone's entire, like it sounds weird to say in a way, but you can offset someone's entire life by being harsh or cruel with your words to someone.
All right. And you never know, excuse me. And some people have their, I guess, own intent on doing things and then they do it, but you can really damage a person's their mental health, their self-esteem, as well as their finances.
Yeah.
Because we had a incident on our job before I retired, and we had a new VP. He was new to our department. Our director retired, and so then myself and my peer, we reported to him, but he didn't know us. He didn't know our work ethics. He didn't know anything about us. So she actually did our annual performance reviews before she left and gave them to him, which she had rated both of us above average. Well, he just made the other my peer mad. He made me cry because
Oh,
I
no.
didn't know it at the time, but he was a lawyer, so it was like he was tall anyway, but he stood up as he was talking to me, and he leaned over and he was beating on the table, and he was saying, "Why do you deserve to get a higher score?" And he was just doing all this. Well, I just looked at him and like, because when people, like, I guess in authority, if I can't say what I really want to say, I shed tears. Well,
Right.
my friend, she got, she talked back to him. I didn't. I just looked at him, but she retired. She was like, I'm not taking this. I'm just going to retire. Well, that put her in a little financial frenzy because she wasn't ready to retire. But I was like, okay, I'm going to retire too. And I went back to my desk and I looked at a picture of my son. He was in college at the time. And I was like, nope, can't do it. Because when he graduates, he's not going to have all that financial debt. I can't do it. So I said, that's okay. I'm just going to stick it out and I'm going to show him what I can do. I'm going to show him why I'm above average. So it ended up, long story short, he actually promoted me to a senior director
Look
at
at that.
short time. But, people, like I say, they have their own agendas. They don't really care about other people. They want work done. They know what they need to do from a corporate level. So they don't worry about that. And that happens in all types of organizations. So not just, corporate, but, everywhere.
Yeah. And I think it also, especially in a work or a school setting, if a coworker or an employee or a teacher don't enjoy what they're doing, they're naturally going to lash out more than they would if they like truly loved what they were doing.
Right. Yep. Makes a lot of sense. And she'll give us some more comments out there. We would love to hear what you have to say. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat as well. I'll be glad to answer your questions. Brittany, can you please provide us with 5 or however many tips you have that can encourage young men not to settle? Don't ever settle, but to do their best as they work to build their best lives, but never settle regardless of what that situation, what that circumstance, who that person is, but not to settle, but use their gifts and talents and everything that they have to complete their lives.
I would say my first or my number one tip would be to pray. Pray not only to ask God who He wants you to become or what traits He wants you to have, but the Bible says, without vision, the people perish. So we
Right.
should always pray and ask for a vision, or in an instruction or a path forward in life. Um, I personally cannot do anything without praying. Lots of intense prayer. My second recommendation would be to create a strong circle of mentors. I believe that one of my favorite quotes is from Coach Ricardo Miller, and he says, someone is designed to help you. So yes, we pray and God gives us a vision, but sometimes we don't understand the vision and we need a circle of mentors or other leaders that can help guide us and help us reach the points or the places that we're trying to go. Um, and then number 3, I would say develop strong and steady habits or behaviors, because if you have a lot of chaos in your life, or if you are struggling to maintain your daily routine, then you will struggle to stay motivated for your vision or the path that you are trying to take, or just struggle to stay motivated in general with work or hobbies or life. And then number 4, I would say always continue learning and reading and striving to stay, I don't want to say stay in the know about the field that you're in, but the more you are up to date on the current things that are happening in whatever it is that you are desiring to be in, the highest level of efficiency you could stay in. And then number 5, I would say stay teachable. And this is something that is hard for everyone, I think, because we get really excited about all the things that we know. And then someone else comes along to teach us and we're like, wait a minute, I already know everything. I don't need you to tell me anything else. But the more teachable that you are, the better success you will have in not just continuing your education and learning from others, but in showing others how to live your best life.
Awesome. Those are some great nuggets. All right. Yes, do you have any others, or do you have any questions? I think those were some great nuggets. Pray, create a strong group of mentors, establish strong behaviors, always continue to work and study, and stay teachable. I love that, stay teachable. Sometimes we think, oh, like you said, we know it all, get the big head, and then somebody's trying to teach us something better, and we like, I got it. I got it.
Right.
You can always learn something, always.
Yep. And I think, to me, in what I've experienced, the more teachable you are, it shows a better side of your character, than if you act or want to be the know-it-all and you don't want to let anybody in and teach you anything new.
All right. That's good. So, Brittany, do you have any other words of encouragement or any nugget that you would like to leave with our fans today?
I just want to say, stay motivated. Whatever it is that you're striving for, you're doing great and you're going to get there.
Stay motivated. Stay motivated.
Find someone who's a cheerleader to help cheer you on. Don't go broadcast to the world what your goals are, but tell someone so that somebody can check in with you and see how you're doing and keep you motivated and encouraged and maybe even help you along the way.
That's right. I love that. Stay motivated, okay, because you don't want to settle. So you need that encouragement, someone to say, "Hey, Brittany, hadn't seen you in a while. What's going on?"
Yeah.
Right. So, sometimes that makes a big difference. And I don't care, what that is in your life. Like, you can be in school, you can be um, trying to learn how to swim, or trying to learn how to do something different, and you kind of slack off. So if somebody hasn't seen you and, they can kind of keep you accountable, they just give you a call and say, "Hey, I hadn't seen you in a while."
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then that'll make you go, okay, people are noticing, or, I did say this is my goal and I want to do it. I kind of, put it on the back burner, but then you'll step back up and begin to do it again. So it's always good to have somebody that will hold you accountable.
Yeah. Hold you accountable and keep you encouraged.
That's right. That is so good, so good, so good. Hi, Agnes. Thank you for tuning in. We have been talking about don't settle, because no one should settle, should always, always use your gifts, your talents, your wisdom, your discernment, and do those things that are going to be best for you. And as a spin off of that, for those in your immediate circle. So that's your family, your special personal friends. You always want to be close to them and keep them in your circle. So I really appreciate your insight today. I think this was to me was a eye-opening thing. I was looking at it and doing a little bit of research and thinking about it. Don't settle. Just think about how many people had gifts of writing, of doing plays, of inventing something. They've gone, left this earth, and they didn't do it because they settled.
Yep. That's true. That is so true.
Yep. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in today. Please join us Thursday for Thursday Live with Coach Deborah. Our topic is going to be memorable educators. Memorable educators. That educators are just like everybody else. Some kids will say, "Well, I don't like so and so. She is so mean." But I had one teacher I know, my sixth grade teacher. We said she was mean, and I was kind of afraid of her. But some of the things that she taught us, besides uh, our sixth grade lesson, she gave us life principles that I carry with me today. So I really, really appreciate her. So I'm pretty sure a lot of us have memorable educators that we think about every now and then. So I'm going to be talking about them on Thursday. So please join me. And if you have an educator and you want to showcase them, mention them, you can send me a text. 904-553-4094. Direct message me, put it in the comments. Send me an email at byblwdsmith@gmail.com. That's Build Your Best Life with D. Smith at buildyourbestlife.com. Why I keep saying .com? Build Your Best Life at gmail.com. And if you want to send me a video, I'll be glad to show that on Thursday. But I think our educators need to be showcased as well, because we have some excellent, excellent educators. So
That's awesome.
yep. So okay, we got a question out here. Brittany, Denise says, "What do you do when you don't have family support?"
I actually had a period of time when I didn't have family support. I found a very strong church family, and I found support through them. There are also other local community groups and community organizations that you can find support with. But the other thing that I did was I found support through just like friends that I have met along the way and the community service stuff that I do, and they helped me in a very difficult time. It just all boils down to what circle of people you surround yourself with.
Yes, most definitely. We always say that Coach Ricardo says there's someone assigned to assist you. And
Yep.
but that is so true. It is just so true. And you never know. Sometimes you see people on a daily basis and they're needing something. They may be homeless, they may not have food or anything. They may, be deficient in a particular subject. And there is someone assigned to assist you. So sometimes you have to, ask, or like I had an instance with my son. He knew someone that needed some help. They actually needed someone to live. And he was like, "Oh, you come live at my house." So they did. So
Wow.
you just, you never know. And so that's my little baby girl to this day. So you never know.
Well, that's good. That's great.
Yeah. All right. You're welcome, Denise. So, again, thank you all so much for tuning in today. And for those who follow me, you know that we are declaring Jeremiah 29:11 over your lives this year. Why? Because God knows the plans that He has for you. He wants you to have prosperity, not disaster. He doesn't want those bad things for you. He wants you to have good things. He wants you to have the future that you hope for. So please design your blueprint for success based on the plans that God has given you. You got to put in the work now. You got to put in the work. And if you need some assistance, you got to reach out and ask for that help, and then build your best lives. And please remember that building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan, it is our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I'll be looking for some of you on Thursday. And don't forget, if you want me to highlight someone, please send that to me. But enjoy the rest of your week. And I do hope to see some of you on Thursday. Thank you so much, Brittany.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's been really fun.
Thank you. All right. Bye bye, everyone.